Let's see what's cooking. It's time for Yo-Yo Max 12.
Okay, first for the crust, you need an envelope of active dry yeast. That's 2 1/4 teaspoons of dry yeast. Then you're going to add 1 1/3 cups of warm water. The recipe says to start off with half a cup, then add half a teaspoon of salt, stir it up with a wooden spoon, and then add the remaining water. But I don't see why you just can't add the whole 1 1/3 right at the beginning. Then add 2 cups of all-purpose flour to the water yeast mixture and stir it around. Just stir it until there's no big lumps of flour left. Then you're going to continue to add flour, about another 1.5 cups worth of flour in total, but that's going to vary. First start off by adding a little bit of flour and stirring it around, and eventually the dough will start to pull away from the sides and will make like a dough ball in the center, and that means it's ready to come out of the bowl and to go on the countertop for some kneading. Put some additional flour on the countertop. Put the dough ball on the counter and begin to knead it about 5 or 6 minutes actually until it gets nice and smooth and elastic. And kneading is basically folding it over, squishing it down, giving it a turn, folding it over, and so on. And just keep doing that until it feels smooth under your fingertips. And when you squish it down with your fingertips, it springs back slightly. And that means that it's elastic. And keep adding flour to keep it from sticking to your hands and your countertop. Then put a little bit of olive oil or vegetable oil in a bowl. Put the dough ball in there. And I kind of flip it over and move it around just to cover it with oil and keep it from sticking to the bowl. Then take some plastic wrap over top and place this in a warm, draft-free place until it's doubled in size. What I do is I put it in my oven with just the oven light on, and just the heat from the light bulb gives it a nice warm spot for it to rise. In the meantime, while you're waiting for that, you can prepare the filling, which is 1 pound of Italian sausage. And just fry that in a frying pan until it is no longer pink, and break it up into small pieces. In the same pan, you can add a medium green pepper, 1 medium red pepper, and 1 large onion chopped up. And just fry this over medium-high heat until the vegetables are tender. That's going to take a few minutes. Now here's the dough. This is about an hour later. It takes about an hour for it to double, depending on the heat in your kitchen, of course. Just take a sharp knife and just kind of roughly cut the dough ball in half. Grease up a 9 by 13 inch pan. Take half of the dough and spread it around in the bottom of the pan. And try to get the dough to go up the sides of the pan slightly. This dough is very elastic, and just try to get it as even as you can in the bottom of the pan. And if it rips a little bit, then just fix up the hole and keep going. Not a big deal. Then you're going to take the cooked sausage and place it on the bottom crust. I started putting cheese on, I realized I forgot the vegetables. Then the vegetables. Spread that around. You don't need to add a lot of salt here because the sausage is very salty. Then the recipe calls for 4 cups of mozzarella cheese that's been shredded. Now 4 cups is a lot of mozzarella cheese. I actually put in about 3 cups because I thought that was plenty. Even 3 cups was quite a bit. So you can change that around if you'd like. Take the second half of your dough ball, put it on the counter that's been floured, and just roll it out gently. It doesn't take much to roll out dough that's risen because it's very soft and it's very elastic. And just pick it up and see how elastic it is. It doesn't fall apart at all. And then place it over top. And just seal up the edges with your fingers. The dough will stick together quite well. And if it's not perfectly sealed, it's not going to make a whole lot of a difference because there's not a lot of sauce inside that to leak out. For the topping, you're going to have an egg mixed with a tablespoon of water. To this, I put about 3/4 of a teaspoon of garlic powder and about a teaspoon of oregano. And I also added 2 tablespoons of fresh chopped parsley from my garden. You could use the dried parsley as well. That would be okay. I'd say about a tablespoon would be enough. Just stir that around, pour it over top, and I'm using a pastry brush here. Just spread it over top. And the recipe says I added some shredded Parmesan as well. The recipe says to cut some holes in the top and to bake it at 400 degrees for 20 to 25 minutes until it's golden brown. That's 25 minutes. It was quite golden brown on the top and perfectly cooked on the bottom as well. Mind you, the cuts I made in the top were all sealed up, so I don't really know what the point of that is. But I put them in anyway. This was delicious. I really enjoyed it. The only thing I might do the next time I make this would be to serve it with a little bit of pizza sauce to put over top. But otherwise, it's excellent. Give it a try.